Hey, all right, welcome to Cash Flow Freedom. So, this has been something that I've been actively working with a couple clients in my practice. And for me, having consistent recurring cash coming in to the business, cash flow that I can depend on, has been really primary to keeping my energy up, to keeping my flow, to helping me feel free in my business. And that's something that I talk a lot with clients, how to create that recurring, consistent, reliable cash flow in the business so you're never really worried about what money's coming in. That's not what we're going to talk about today. Like, as super valuable as that is, what we're going to talk about today is how to bring like a bunch of money all at once, like in a few weeks. If you need cash flow in your business right now, if you need an influx of money in your business right now, what is it that you can do to essentially bring in more money in the next 3 weeks that you might have brought in the last 3 months? A couple weeks ago, I created this background post on Facebook that said something like, cash flow. When you focus on flow, you never have to worry about the cash. And there's some truth to that. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to really give you the strategic piece, like essentially what I just did last month, and also what I'm working on with clients this month to bring in a bunch of money. But then we're also going to speak about the flow part and how to stay in that flow, in that confidence, in that openness so that you don't sabotage the process. So this is going to be for you today if you're interested in having a process in place that you can use to bring an influx of money into your business quickly. And it started, I actually had a client about maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, come to me and say, hey, I need to bring in a certain amount of money in my business. I'd like to focus on that in May and, maybe even play a game of bringing more money in May than I've brought in for the entire last 3 months. And so what was interesting is that I was at that point at the tail end of a program where I was a member of called Power Money. And Power Money was all about creating a bunch of cash in a month and finding that confidence, finding that conviction, that certainty that allows us to sell every day. So I basically felt like I could totally help this client come up with this setup, and we created something together that's a little different than what I did with Power Money, but was definitely influenced by that. So that's what I'm going to take you in today, both the external strategic work of creating that money and the internal energetic nervous system work of being able to hold yourself and actually execute the strategy. So before I jump in, I want to introduce myself in case you're new to me. Hi, I'm Ilsa. Welcome. Feel free to say hi to me. I'll come back and say hi again. So I'm a total spiritual nerd. I'm a bookworm. I'm a little bit of a hermit and definitely an introvert. I'm a dog mama. I love to dance. That's kind of me in a nutshell. Like, I'm pretty boring overall, personally. Professionally, for the last 20 years or so, I've worked as a psychotherapist, an expansion expert, a strategist for entrepreneurs and leaders. I teach my clients how to rewire their nervous system, their bodies, and their businesses for easeful growth, for consistent results, for deeply nourishing and peaceful and joyful receivership, leadership, and profits. And how to do all of that without all of that rub, without the second guessing, the doubting, the stressing, the sabotaging, the resistance, so that it can be smooth and it can be in that flow. So if you're ready to transform like that amount of money you can bring in and transform your life, transform the ease, then I would love to work with you. At the end of this training, I'm going to give you 2 different ways to start working with us, either a free 20-minute enrollment call if you know exactly that you want to work with me and we'll pick your package, or I also offer a 90-minute one-on-one intensive with me at 55% off so that you can actually really experience the work. And you can find a link to both of those in the description of this video. All right, let's get started. So if you wanted to create some cash flow in your business and you wanted to have an influx of sales, this is what I would do. And this is what I'm putting together with a couple clients. And it mirrors pretty closely to what I did last month with my own mentor to bring in a whole bunch of money and clients. So the first thing that I'm going to invite you to do, and obviously you're not going to do this in here, it would take too long. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take an hour and you're going to come up with an amazing pop-up offer. Something that is in line with what you do right now. It's in line with your golden thread. It's in line with your positioning, your brand. It's in line with your other offers, but it's different than your current offers. And the reason I want you to do that is because I want you to be able to go to your current clients or even past clients who have done your other offers and offer this to them. So you want to come up with a really powerful, really juicy, really fun pop-up offer that even your current clients could see as being beneficial for them. And people who've never worked with you could also be interested in trying this out. And again, if you need help with that, that could be something we do even in that 90-minute intensive. So what you'll need as you're coming up with this offer, you'll need a sense of clarity as to who your ideal client is, who is this offer for, what's the main results that they will walk away with. And you want that result to be kind of compelling to that client. It's either going to be something that is not exactly what you currently offer as a result, but is in alignment, or it's going to be something that's actually going to help them get like results a lot faster and more powerfully in other areas. So it's going to be an activator of some sort, or it's going to be a parallel result that they would also want. Once you have your offer, what you're going to do is you're going to choose a price. And you're going to make this a great value, especially for the first 5. When I say a great price, a great value, it doesn't mean cheap. It just means that based on the value that this offer is bringing to your people, it's going to feel like a no-brainer for them, but it should still feel really good for you. So you should feel like it's a great value for you as well, because let's be honest, you're watching this training because you want to make a bunch of money. And here's the thing about entrepreneurship business, the hardest thing is to bring clients in. So let's maximize the clients that we bring in. I don't want you to have to sell 10, 15, 20 spots of something for you to feel like you had an amazing month financially. I want you to feel like if you sell 5 or 6 of those, you had an amazing month. Here's the other thing too. If you price it too low, you won't feel excited about selling it. You won't feel excited about delivering it. You won't feel excited about showing up and actually getting like moving through any discomfort that's going to come around the selling of it. And if you don't feel excited about the potential of what you could bring with this offer, your nervous system is going to contract and you're actually going to block your progress. You're going to sabotage your receivership. So the important thing with pricing, and that's true for this offer, it's true for any offer, it has to be something that feels really rewarding and exciting, but it can't feel scary, because then the opposite is true. So if an offer is too low, then you don't sell it because you don't want to sell it. If an offer is too high, then you also sabotage your progress and block your receivership because there's something in you that feels like you're not worthy of that amount, or you won't know how to hold that amount or how to hold the clients at that level of investment. So you want to find that pricing that's going to feel really good in all ways. It's not going to feel like too much of a challenge, but it's not going to feel too low and unexciting. So once you have the offer, you have the pricing, you have a sense of who it's for, the biggest results, and you have a sense of the delivery. Like, what are they going to get? You're going to create a very simple Google Doc outline of the offer. Basically, what I just said, like the name and subtitle for the offer, what problem it solves or big results they will walk away with, what they're going to receive, who is it for, what is included in it, and then the investment. You want to keep it super simple. It's actually part of the strategy. It's for it to look like you just put this together in the flow of inspiration. You do not need a sales page. Actually, having a sales page will go against the strategy. The fact that you're kind of making this down and dirty a little bit is part of the process. So once you have that, then your next step is you're going to reach out to any current or past clients and let them know that you just came up with this amazing pop-up offer, that you're super excited about it. You don't even have a sales page yet. And you're reaching out to them first because you're making the first 5 spots available at an incredible price. And you want to make sure that they have an opportunity to grab them if that feels in alignment with them. You can, and I would do that at every step. You can let them know, hey, if this isn't for you, but you know someone for this, for whom this would be perfect, connect them. I will extend one of those 5 spots to them as long as I still have them available. So you're creating a little bit of urgency there for people to move. You might even offer them a referral fee if that's part of your business model. But that's the first step, is you're connecting to your current and past clients who know you, who've worked with you, to offer this brand new pop-up offer and to offer them one of those special 5 spots that you have available, and letting them know that if it's not for them, but they know someone for whom this would be available, that you'll be happy based on their recommendation to extend one of those 5 spots as long as you have them available to their friend, their coworker, their family member, whatever. So once you're done with that, then you're going to reach out to anyone who's ever gone on a sales call with you but didn't buy. And that's an opportunity to just reconnect with them. And you're going to give them the same spiel that you just came up with this. You don't even have a sales page. You just have a really simple Google Doc. You're super excited about this offer. You're reaching out to them before you put it out to your email list and your social media following, because you would love for them to have access to one of those 5 special spots. And same thing, if this is not for them, and if they know anyone for whom it would be perfect for, to please refer them. You'll be happy to extend one of these 5 spots. Essentially, you start getting the drift here. What we're doing here is, first and foremost, you're going to be focused on selling these 5 spots. And you're going to go from closest contact to further and further out until you get to the point where you're just going to be in your email list and on your social media selling to potentially people who've been following you, but have never been in direct contact with you. So once you've reached out to everybody who's been on a sales call but didn't buy, either it wasn't the right time, they couldn't afford it, whatever was going on, then you're going to reach out to anyone who seemed interested or has shown support for what you're doing, both in your life and in your content. So that could be somebody, for example, they've never bought for you, they've never gotten on a sales call, but they're really showing up and giving love to your content. They're showing up on your videos or your lives. They're commenting on your posts. Maybe they've even gone on in the DMs with you here and there and been responsive. So it's somebody who essentially, when you reach out to them, they will know exactly who you are. This could also have nothing to do with your content. It could be a friend or somebody you've told, a colleague, a coworker, somebody in your regular life that you've shared what you do with, and they've wanted to know more about it, and they've seemed excited and interested about it. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to tell them again that you have this brand new pop-up offer, that you're so excited about it. You haven't even created a sales page. You just have a simple Google Doc, and you're looking for 5 people to get started working with them on this right away. And you're offering this special for the first 5 people, whether that special means you're doing. So I didn't go into this, but like the special could be price. It could be a lower price. It could also be you have a special bonus in there. It could be a combination of those 2 things. And same thing, if this isn't for them, do they know anyone? You'll be happy to extend that invitation to those people as well, and to send them a referral fee if they move forward. So once you've reached out to all of those people, these are essentially your super warm to warm leads. They know who you are. They know what your work is about. You've had contact with them to some degree or another, and you reach out to those one-on-one. After that, you are ready for your audience, essentially. My hope is that you might sell those 5 spots before you ever post anything on social media or in your email list about it. And so then at that point, you can actually start to sell extra spots if you want to, or you could skip the entire marketing if your 5 is what you want and you're satisfied with that. But once you've reached out one-on-one to all those people, and the next things you do is you start to do your regular marketing campaign. And this is also something that this is part of what I'm in the process of creating with these 2 clients is like, what is the message that you send to all these people? How do you describe this offer? And once you've done that, if you still have spots to sell, then let's create an entire marketing campaign. Like, let's create the post. Let's make sure we're speaking to who this is for. Let's make sure it's clear. Like, that means background posts that describe in a one-liner your offer and tell them you've got 3 spots left or 2 spots left. That means like regular posts that are just selling posts. I have this great thing to share with you. I'm so excited to share this. And then you describe kind of your offer, you describe this, the results and who this is for. And if they want more detail, to DM you. So like a number, you want to use a number of different posts in your social media. You might want to do a reel. You might want to do a 5-10 minute live on your offer, because different people, Facebook's going to show the different types of posts to different people, which is why you don't want to just have long posts. You want different type of things, because Facebook kind of knows who likes which content and will kind of move that content towards the right kind of people. And then you want to use some of those posts to create an email campaign. What I like about campaign is once you've done it once, and the trick here will be to not overcomplicate it, to like keep it in the down and dirty category so you don't overwhelm yourself, or you don't spend all the time you should be spending selling actually perfecting and writing a bunch of content that you actually don't put out. The trick at this level is you want to sell every day. And this is what I had to do in that course, that program I was in last month, Power Money. And being able to show up and figure out like whether you're showing up in a story, whether you're doing a reel, whether you're showing up in your email to your email list in an email, whether you're creating a long post, or like essentially every day you need to be putting your offer out. Most of us feel like, we'll put our offers a few times and then we feel like people have seen it and we won't continue. And that is just not accurate. Most people do not see your content. So if you actually post every day and you post in a bunch of different ways, you really increase the chance that somebody will see it a couple times, maybe 3 times. And that will kind of create enough momentum for their curiosity to be enlivened and for them to reach out and want to know more about it. I'm looking at my notes, see what else I want to say about this. So here's the thing, like this is essentially the strategy, right? The strategy is you start right very close and you like a ripple, you start to branch out and sell to a bigger audience, to people who know you less. And you really commit to the process. You almost are, you're committed to making money. You're committed to bringing this offer that's really fun, that's new, that's exciting, that's an amazing value for what you will be offering in there. You're committed to bringing this out to the world and having as many people know about it. That means, at least in this last phase, you're really committed to showing up every day. If you want to take Sunday off, take Sunday off, but you're committed until you sell these 5 spots. You're committed to showing up and selling and letting people know about this offer every single day. Last month, when I was in that program where we did that, boy, was that tough for me. But it was also powerful. It also really forced me to step out of my shell, to be in a place of empowerment and confidence, to start showing up as a leader, to really speak about how powerful my offer was and how it was the most ingenious thing I had ever created. It kind of forced me to start to not let my fears lead. My fear of bothering people, of boring people, my fear of being criticized, judged, rejected. You know what I'm talking about. Like all these things that come up, that imposter syndrome, that playing small, that hiding, that kind of like get us to like lean back, take our foot off the gas, and essentially like we start acting in opposition to the results we want. So in this last phase, you're going to speak about your offer and make a direct invitation every single day. And you're going to have all sorts of ways to do that. You can send an email, you can do a reel, you can do a story, you can create a post, you can create a background post, a long form post, you can do a little story or something, and then the entire second half of your post is describing this offer. You can do just a single, I have something exciting, there's only 2 spots left, and you do nothing else but sell on this post. Do not assume that people will see it if you put it out 3 or 4 times. They just won't. So that's kind of what I'm doing with my current clients, is really designing first the offer, then designing the entire messaging and marketing campaign around it. And this is the flow part that I wanted to talk to you about. Then there's really the owning your self-leadership. And the truth is, we are the ones who get in our own way. It's important to do the inner work, because if not, you'll get overwhelmed, you'll get triggered, you'll start to freeze, and then you'll create this pattern of hiding or stalling, where you're actually not doing what you need to do to create the cash, which then reinforces that sense of that lack of confidence, that shame, that blame, that not feeling good enough. So if you need help with designing this offer, with the messaging, with the campaign, and with staying anchored in your own power, in your own trust, in your own confidence, so that you can stay in motion. You can do all the things you need to do to actually stay on track and move the needle. Then either get on a 20-minute call and let's talk about which of my offers is the best one for you that I could support you with this, or let's hop on a 90-minute Wired for Wealth breakthrough intensive. It's 55% off. And we can actually focus on that like if you, rather than doing the nervous system work, you actually want to design a pop-up offer and start to create the process of this cash injection type of challenge in some ways, then you can still book that. And just in the description, like I'll ask you, like, what do you want to work on during our 90 minutes? You can just put in there cash injection or cash flow, and I will know what you want to do during that session. So as you can see, the plan is actually relatively simple. You create a pop-up offer that you're really excited about, that has a lot of value. You pick a price that feels really good. And then you reach out to your clients and past clients. You reach out to people who've gone on a sales call but haven't worked with you further. Then you reach out to people who've really supported your work and have seemed interested in your work. And then you reach out to your entire audience via email, via social media. And you actually do a daily campaign to sell these 5 spots. Once you've sold these 5 spots, what I would do is I would raise the price a little bit and then try to sell 3 more, or sell if you want to. You don't actually need to, but if you want to, that would be the next step. And again, just a reminder, keep these super simple. Do not create a sales page. Do not add all the fluff. Unless you decide to keep this as an offer that you really like, then you can. But actually, the fact that you don't have a sales page, that this is off the cuff, is actually part of the strategy. It's what makes the strategy powerful and makes it so that people want to jump in because they're curious. They want to be the first ones to experience it. They want that great deal. Like, it's actually part of the process. We as entrepreneurs tend to overcomplicate. I overcomplicate everything. My own mentor is continuously telling me, you're doing it again. You're overcomplicating. It's not that complicated. And so that's something that I've worked really hard over the years, is to keep it really simple, because to keep it simple also feels really good to your nervous system. It allows for a lot of spaciousness. It allows for you to be human and to not have to have everything perfect. Now let's talk about the internal work. Your big internal work will be to own your power, your worth, your authority throughout this whole thing, and to trust the process, to show up like a leader. You're going to basically have to dissolve any doubt as it shows up. Anytime you start to feel your nervous system kind of contract and freeze, you start to feel your energy kind of crash and your motivation dampen, your confidence starts to be siphoned or drained out of you because you received a couple no's. You're going to have the right process in place to literally gather yourself back up and keep trusting the process and keep showing up from that place of certainty, conviction, trust. That, my friends, is actually the hardest part of being an entrepreneur. Coming up with strategies that work, easy. It's being the version of you who can execute these strategies consistently and show up in such an embodied way that people believe you when you speak and they want to be part of it. That's the hard part. You want to make sure that your energy is expansive enough that the value of what you're offering is coming through and your excitement for this pop-up offer is coming through. If you've followed me for any length of time, you have heard me say this. People don't buy what you're selling. They buy the expansion they sense in you And they buy the expansion they sense is possible by working with you. Expansion is the common denominator. You cannot sell expansion from this place. You can only sell expansion when you're deeply rooted in your own sovereignty, in your own certainty, and your nervous system, your energy, your excitement, your enthusiasm, your motivation is expansive. That's when you're in that flow. That's when you embody that sense of freedom that people want. So this plan, this cash injection challenge, you should expect it to trigger all your wounds around visibility, around worthiness, around fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of bothering people, all your wounds that create self-doubt, resistance, and all these sabotaging patterns. Expect them to all rise up. You're going to see perfectionism show up. You're going to see overcomplicating show up. You're going to see being busy doing a whole bunch of shit that you don't actually need to do. And meanwhile, not doing the few things you know you should do that are part of the plan. You're going to see how your energy crashes and you just want to go hide and not do anything. You're going to feel yourself shrink, get drained, feel overwhelmed, especially when you start getting a few no's. You're going to see yourself procrastinate, taking your foot off the gas. These are all sabotaging patterns, ways that the nervous system keeps us safe and small in what has been, rather than helping us expand into what could be. Entrepreneurship, being a business owner, is just hard. You have to show up consistently and continually, regardless of what kind of short-term results you get. You got to lead yourselves and navigate all these energetic ups and downs, that's those slump, that loss of motivation, and keep going no matter what. You got to hold yourself and move through all the disappointments, the setbacks, the fears. You got to cultivate that self-trust, that certainty, that confidence, and show up from that place when actually what you really want to do is go hide and all you feel is resistance and doubt. And you have to keep being visible and be consistent in how you show up when you really want to just be left alone. I have felt all of these. I do not know any kind of soulful, purpose-driven, maybe even sensitive, introverted entrepreneur who has not felt that and has not needed to know how to come back into flow, how to come out of contraction back into expansion, how to bring their sense of trust and their sense of confidence and enthusiasm and their motivation back up so that they can keep going. This is all part of the expansion dance. Every time you are on the edge of a next level, your nervous system will do this. Are we ready for this? I don't think we should. I don't know that we're capable. I don't know that we're worthy. Who do we think we are? Maybe we should stay silent and small. That will keep us safe. Every time you're about to expand and dare, you should expect something in you to shrink and contract. And your big work is to actually help all these parts of you who don't feel worthy, who don't feel ready yet, who don't feel big enough, together enough, certified enough, educated enough, knowledgeable enough, to help all of these parts to feel safe being themselves, to feel safe stepping into their bigness. And at some point, what happens when you do that is all these parts of you that used to be saboteurs, they actually start becoming partners, allies, assets on your journey to more. So you use all these gremlins that rear their ugly heads, all these wounded parts that are scared to be big and to do big things and to receive in a big way. You use all of that to start to rewire your nervous system, to train your brain, to recalibrate your energy for that next level, for more money, for more easeful client attraction. You might not believe me, but creating big money is not the final destination. It's not even the goal. Because what feels like big money to you right now, at some point, won't feel that big anymore. Literally, that sense of, I want this goal, that goal is continuously moving. Like you think, like, when I reach this, I'll be done. No, when you reach this, you'll be a different person, and that person will want to be here. And so it's a moving target. And really what we're doing here, I like to say that money is a happy ripple. When you're in alignment, when you are becoming the man or woman who gets to create these things, then money just starts to ripple happily, and that's the flow. That's the external flow that matches your internal flow. The point is not money. It's actually about progress and the process of your own becoming. Money is just a mirror for who you are. I did a short live on Tuesday about the law of assumption. And one of the things I said in there is, we don't actually get what we want. We get what we are. And so as who you are becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, as you really claim that leadership, then your receivership expands. Then what becomes possible, then your desire, everything expands. The amount of money you can create, receive, and hold expands. So this is self-leadership in action. This is what being a self-source CEO means. And this cash injection strategy is going to really show you all the ways that you get in your own way, all the ways that you hold yourself back, all the ways that you kind of lean away rather than leaning in because of fear, because of not feeling good enough, because of some kind of lack. How you hold yourself when it feels hard is actually what defines how far you will go. Your ability to hold yourself lovingly, to bring all these parts of you that are contracted back in a sense of regulation, liberation, and expansion, so that you can move, you can keep moving, and you can keep leveling up, and you can keep showing up consistently and confidently, is what will create bigger results, bigger in your creation, bigger in your receivership. So as you embody that process of holding yourself powerfully and anchoring your identity in expansion, everything, including your results and how much money you make and hold, will start to expand. It's inevitable. Because as I said, we don't create and receive what we want. We create and receive who and what we are. So use all that resistance. Use all that sabotage. Use all those stalling patterns and techniques as your springboard into your next level, as the way to find out, oh, this is how I'm still stuck. This is the belief I'm telling myself that's been keeping me small for all these months or years. You're going to use all these wounds, all these doubts, all these contractions that are going to show up along these 3 weeks, this month of doing this cash injection. And truthfully, they're going to show up across your whole business. You know, not just, I'm speaking specifically to the strategy right now, but these things show up all the time. It's the work I do with clients. Like actually having the right strategy, the right messaging, the right offer, the right pricing is great. And it's easy. Being able to be the man or woman who actually can execute, deliver, charge, hold that next level, that's the real work. So that is the internal flow part of being able to hold all those parts that don't feel good enough until they feel relaxed and they feel like they got this, and you're in flow, you're in motion, you're not no longer sabotaging your progress and your receivership. At the root of every new financial frontier is emotional freedom. Always remember that true sustainable financial freedom is always created and built upon a foundation of emotional freedom. Receivership is actually an extension of leadership. Receivership is directly connected to self-leadership. That's what I have for you. That was the strategy for this, to actually bring some cash flow, and the internal work to really start to pay attention and start to shift out of that contracted inner flow. If you found today's training interesting, valuable, expansive, then please share it. Tag a friend, send a link, let people know, give me a heart. That's going to help with the algorithm, or a thumbs up. That's going to help with the algorithm and to make sure more people find it and see it. And if you know that you need help, either with the strategic piece of putting this offer and this campaign together from start to finish, or with the inner flow, the inner work, because you know you are going to stall, freeze, get overwhelmed, get in your own way, sabotage your process, then let's do some work together. I have a bunch of different ways to work with me, from like literally like a 4.5 hour intensive for $1,200, all the way to working together for a whole year with hand holding, access to me for $10,000, and a whole bunch of stuff in between. So I have something for you. I have more than likely something for your budget, and I have more than likely something for the level of commitment you're looking for. When we work together, we're going to come up with a custom plan, a step-by-step roadmap. I'm going to help you keep your nervous system and your brain anchored in safety and confidence and trust, in that sense of expansion. I'm going to help you bring your energy into flow and freedom and vitality, so you don't have all these energy slump that get in the way of you moving forward. And I'm going to help you execute and stay in consistent action with ease, so that you can actually create the powerful results that you desire. Every package I have has deep dive one-on-one work with me. And there's 2 ways to get started. The first is, if you know this is exactly what you need that marriage, that combination between the strategic pieces and the messaging and the positioning and all of that, and you need the nervous system work so that you don't get into freeze or flight, so that you don't sabotage your progress, so that you're able to receive and hold more, then we can do a 20-minute enrollment call. This is for you. It's free. And this is for you if you're ready to jump in, you're ready to get started, and you just want to pick which package is going to fit your needs and your budget and your goal best. If you're not quite ready to dive into that deep end and you want to experience this work, you want to work with me and see how I work for a session, then let's do a 90-minute intensive. If you're new to me, it's 55% off. It's $175 essentially. Normally I do a lot of nervous system work and figuring out where the blocks are in that session. But because I'm bringing this in commendation with a strategic plan for a cash flow infusion, if you want to do a strategic session with me during that 90-minute, then just put cash flow. And I will know that rather than focusing on the nervous system work, you want to focus on the strategy, the messaging, the positioning, the offer in your business. So I would love to do some work with you. I would love to help you unlock your potential and create easeful and fast results in a way that's going to really nourish all of you. from your soul, your heart, all the way to your bank account. And if this feels in alignment, then just click one of the links in the description. Let's just either hop on a 20-minute call and decide how we're going to work together, or let's dive in and do a 90-minute session to start, and then we can talk about doing some more work together after that. All right, that's what I have. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week and wonderful weekend, and I will see you probably next week. Although next week am I going out of town next week? I'm not sure. I don't even know what date it is. More than likely, you'll see me next week on Thursday. All right, bye.